Good morning, students. Welcome to Thursday's class. Today we're going to continue looking at volume of prisms, and today we're going to be looking at the triangular prism. It's going to be really similar to what we did with the rectangular prism, where we found the area of the base, so length times width for that rectangle, then multiplied by the height. Here instead, we're going to find the area of the base of the triangle, which is 1/2 times the base times the height, then multiply that by the height of the prism. So again, volume of a prism, area of the base times the height. So for the triangle, that looks like 1/2 times the base times the height. So this first initial three parts, those are from the triangle, and then multiply it by the height of the prism. So if we substitute in what we know, 1/2 times 5.5 there, that 5.5 inches being the base, times 2, which is the height of the triangle, then multiplying that by 4, that's going to be what we need to do, though, multiplying those four numbers together. So what's really nice here is if you happen to mistake some of them, at least the order, it'll be okay because we can multiply in any order from the commutative property, but just note where those come from. The 1/2, that's from the just triangle formula for area, and then 5.5 is our base of the triangle, 2 inches is the height of the triangle. So multiplying, so here I just did it in a couple steps. So 1/2 times 5.5 is 2 and 75 hundredths times 2 times 4. So now and then when we multiply all three of those together, we get a volume of 22. So 22 cubic inches is what we have here for our volume of this triangular prism. If we look at one other example, so I have one that's shaped, I mean, it's still a triangular prism, just the triangle is kind of on that bottom, we'll say. So again, we look at it, area of the base times the height. So here for a triangle, triangular prism, 1/2 times the base times the height, and then times height of the prism. So that's the difference in those two heights there. One's the height of the triangle, one's the height of the prism. So substitute in what we know. So we know the base of the triangle is 4 millimeters there. The height of the triangle, that red line, that's 6. And then the height of the prism, that's 5. So when we multiply, so the 1/2 times 4, that gave us 2, and then times 6 times 5. And then when we multiply all of those together, we get 60. So 60 cubic millimeters for our volume of our triangular prism. So again, very similar to what we did yesterday. Just ensure that you are using that correct triangle formula, the 1/2 times the base times the height for the area of the base. If you have any questions, let me know. Overall, you guys did really well with the rectangular prism from what I've looked at so far. So if you do have questions, though, reach out to me. Use Google Hangouts or Google Meets, or send an email if you need to. All right. Have a good rest of your Thursday.